Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathsala. I am Dr. Jay Sridhar, Assistant Professor in Agriculture Extension from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. Today we are going to see yet another important topic, and perhaps this is not like the other topics that we have been dealing with before. This is about the case studies of successful ICT projects that are done in India. We all know India is well known around the world for its rapid economic growth rate over the last 15 years or so, fueled in part by the spectacular growth in its export-oriented software and ICT-based service sector. Many other countries look to India as a model for global outsourcing and try to imitate elements of this in their own strategies. Success at a particular period of time does not, of course, guarantee its continuation, and commentators have expressed concern such as rising wage rates and skill shortage of ICT professionals. It is likely, however, that India will remain a major player in the ICT industry for the years to come, and thus its global image as an ICT success story will continue. Viewed from a broader development perspective, things are not so simple. The new wealth that has arisen in India from the ICT booms benefit the relatively wealthy and educated in the first instance. Will this trickle down to the poor and uneducated? Well, the statistics paint a mixed picture of the current situation. On one hand, India is now the world's fourth largest economy in purchasing power parity terms and has enjoyed high growth rates for over a decade, rising to an average of 8% per annum in the period of 2004 to 7. India was ranked as 128th out of 177 countries on the Human Development Index in the year 2005, which is a composite index based on life expectancy, literacy, and education level and economic standard of living. Shocking statistics includes the percentage of malnourished children under 5 being 46%, the adult female literacy rate as only 48%, and the percentage of rural population using adequate sanitary services as 18%. A major development issue, therefore, is whether India can seriously address the needs of all of its people, including the vast number of poor and uneducated in the rural areas and the urban slums. A related sub-question is whether and to what extent can ICT be used to provide development benefits to all Indian citizens. There are increasing attempts to use technology in this way through projects such as e-government services and telecenters in poor areas. ICT and development goals. Development goals of ICT are broadly classified into 4 regions, that is, better lives for the poor, improved government services, enhanced internal economic activity, and improved civil society. The first broad development category is better lives for the poor. The Millennium Development Goals focus strongly on this area with targets to end poverty and hunger and significantly improve health and education for the poor. ICTs are seen to have high potential in a number of these areas, including that of health, where effective gathering and use of data through computerized health information system is seen as a key prerequisite to improved healthcare delivery and a better assessment of health programs. Telecenters are a second area where ICTs have been widely applied with the aim of bridging the digital divide for the poor, providing them with access to information and better freedom of choice. However, it is recognized that bridging the digital divide is not solely a matter of technology, but also of a social, political, institutional, and cultural context which shape people's access and use of ICTs. The usage of mobile phones is growing at a phenomenal rate in the developing countries as a whole, and there is hope that this technology can offer flexible support to the improvisation capabilities of the poor in trying to improve their lives, providing better economic and social opportunities. The second broad development category is improved government services. One ICT-based approach to this is through the provision of computerized back-end administrative services to the citizens, although the effects may not be easily visible to them. In contrast, the term e-governance has come to prominence throughout the world in the last decade, mostly to describe the highly visible direct services which government can deliver to citizens through the use of ICTs. There is an increasing amount of research devoted to this topic, although Heeks and Bailor in 2007 argued that much of this work is over-optimistic in tone. A further type of ICT-based initiative aimed at improving government services is through the use of geographical information system. Many issues that fall within the remit of government are inherently spatial in nature, such as the planning of roads, the utility system, and the GIS offer a way of analyzing alternative approaches which takes full account of geography and which utilizes data from the variety of local sources and remote sensing technologies. The specific development goal is the better planning and implementation of infrastructure, providing improved economic and social opportunities. A third desirable development outcome is enhanced internal economic activity. ICT-based initiatives here include internet banking and e-commerce aimed at providing better financial services to citizens and businessmen. More generally, the adoption in private sector companies of a whole range of ICT-based approaches pioneered in Western countries from the operational to the strategic level is aimed at more efficient business across all sectors. However, one should be wary of assuming a simple relationship between technology adoption and improved performance as noted in the general literature on ICTs in developing countries. Agricultural supply chain are of particular interest to countries such as India, with a high proportion of its people living in rural areas and deriving their income from agriculture, and ICT offers the potential to improve efficiency in the supply chain, for example, through the provision of up-to-date price information. The final development category in the framework is improved civil society. One of the potential benefits of ICT that has been discussed for many years is its information capability, whereby the technology does not merely improve the efficiency of processes but simultaneously produces enhanced data on these processes. Such data can be used for monitoring and control, but Zuboff argued that it could also be used for local empowerment of workers through increased understanding. In the context of developing countries, can information and ICT be used in this way to empower poor and less advantaged groups, thereby improving the functioning of the civil society and the accountability of people such as government officials? 3 areas will be discussed in this paper. Computerized records in the land reforms aimed to increased efficiency and reduced corruption. Secondly, empowering slum dwellers and other local communities through information and ICTs aimed at improving the social and political participation of disadvantaged groups. Finally, the provision of broader information on civil society more generally as a means of affecting negative attitudes such as apathy and indifference towards major social inequalities. Need for ICT in agriculture. Farming community facing lot of problem in maximizing the crop productivity in spite of successful research or technology on new agricultural practices. The majority of the farmers not getting proper information due to several reasons. Precision farming, popularly in developed countries, extensively uses IT to make direct contribution to agricultural productivity. The techniques of remote sensing using satellite technologies, geographical information system, and agronomy and soil science are used to increase the agricultural outputs. The contribution of IT is bringing down cost, increasing efficiency, and improving productivity. In the fertilizer marketing context, IT plays a major role in effective sales operation, checking the marketing cost, safeguarding market shares, and providing efficient customer services. A well-conceived IT setup endows decision makers at all levels with better reflexes to effectively respond to market conditions. Applications and advantages of ICT in agriculture. The ICT tools provide networking of agricultural sector globally. The center and the state government departments will have reservoirs of databases and also bring farmers, researchers, scientists and administrators together. Extension and advisory services using IT would be available to the farmers on round-the-clock basis. ICT plays an important role in enhancing the impact and performance of agriculture production and in direct poverty alleviation by enhancing activities of poor and increasing their productivity by the way of new credit and financial services, new opportunities to design, manufacture and market produce through the internet or intranet systems, etc. ICT as a development tool creating awareness among farmers and rural artisans for their betterment. Geographical information system is opening new approaches to regional planning and to management of natural resources. Development and strengthening of farming community. It can initiate new agriculture and rural businesses such as e-commerce, real estate business for satellite offices, rural tourism and virtual cooperation for small-scale farms. It can support policy making and evaluation on optimal farm production, disaster management, agro-environmental resource management using tools such as geographic information system. It can improve farm management and farming technologies by efficient farm management, risk management, effective information or knowledge transfer, etc., realizing competitive and sustainable farming with safe products. For example, farmers has to make critical decisions such as what to plant, when to plant, and how to manage the pest. While considering off-farm factors such as environmental impact, market access, and industry standards, IT-based decision support system can surely help their decisions. It can provide systems and tools to secure food traceability and reliability that has been an emerging issue concerning farm products. Such serious contaminations like chicken flu was detected. It can facilitate rural activities and provide more comfortable and safe rural life with equivalent services to those in the urban areas, such as provision of distant education, telemedicine, remote public services, remote entertainment, etc. Now let us see on some of the case studies of successful ICT projects for agriculture development in India. There have been some successful ICT projects initiated in India for agriculture development. In most of the projects, agriculture is only a small component. Successful ICT projects in India are: the number one is Gyan Doot, which was initiated in Madhya Pradesh. Gyan Doot is an intranet-based government-to-citizen service delivery portal commissioned in Dar district of Madhya Pradesh in January 2000. Gyan Doot aims to create a cost-effective, replicable, economically self-reliant and financially viable model for taking the benefits of information and communication technology to the rural masses. The second one is Wardha Wired Village project, which was started in Maharashtra. The Wardha Wired Village project was launched as an attempt to modernize farmers' cooperatives in Wardha district of Maharashtra. Existing cooperatives have been ICT enabled to increase farmers' capabilities for information exchange in a government-driven experiment to discover the potential of rural ICT. The third project is iKisan. iKisan project was started by Nagarjuna Group of companies at Andhra Pradesh. A Nagarjuna Group initiative, iKisan.com, is a comprehensive agri-portal addressing information, knowledge and business requirements of various players in the agri arena, that is, farmers, traders and agri-input companies. Leveraging information technology and extensive field presence, iKisan is positioned as an information knowledge exchange and a e-market platform. The next one is KrishiWorld.net. It's the best portal on agriculture in India so far. It provides various information about medicinal and aromatic plants, biotechnology, crop, soil, fertilizer, weather, market watch, farm equipments, plant protection, diseases, etc. This will be very helpful for the agriculture world. The next ICT project is eChoupal. eChoupal is an initiative by Indian Tobacco Company Limited, a conglomerate in India to link directly with rural farmers via the internet for procurement of agriculture and aquaculture projects like soybean, wheat, coffee and prawns. eChoupal tackles the challenge posed by the Indian agriculture, characterized by fragmented farms, weak infrastructure and involvement of intermediaries. The program installs computer with internet access in rural areas of India to offer farmers up-to-date marketing and agriculture information. The next project is India Development Gateway, shortly called as INDG. INDG is a countrywide initiative that will target specific country needs in the domain of rural and social development. The Gateway is a national portal of India developed as a single window access to information and services with specific objectives of reaching the unreached rural communities of India, especially women and poor. It catalyzes the use of ICT tools for knowledge sharing, leading to development. INDG hopes to bridge the gap between the rural communities and the development by providing links to the government, civil society groups, NGOs and private institutions. The ultimate goal is to create a service-oriented, people-friendly and demystified information technology for development in service of rural communities through countrywide collaborations. India Development Gateway is presently supported by the Department of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India and implemented by Center Development of Advanced Computing, Hyderabad. The next ICT initiative is Project Akshaya. Project Akshaya is an e-literacy program initiated in Kerala for bringing at least one member in a family as an illiterate. The operation of Project Akshaya as unfolded so far consists of three distinct phases. The first phase is that of enabling the masses by imparting basic skills in the computer operation and making them familiar with the internet. This phase is the period of e-literacy training. In the initial phase, the Project Akshaya e-Center departs basic training that not only familiarizes people with the basics and the scope of IT, but also ensures hands-on skill in operating a computer using the internet to at least one person in the 64 lakhs family in the state that makes it the largest rural e-literacy training project worldwide. Mallapuram was the first place where this project was initiated in Kerala, and now this district is declared as the first illiterate district in India. Mallapuram and Kannur districts were already declared 100% illiterate, whereas Kollam, Kozhikode, Thrissur and Kasaragod district achieved illiteracy above 90%. So far, 33 lakhs beneficiaries were trained through this Akshaya project. The next ICT is AgmarkNet. AgmarkNet is one such ICT initiative implemented by the Directorate of Marketing and Inspection, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, for linking all important agricultural produce and marketing committees, state marketing boards, the DMI regional offices for effective exchange of market information and prices. AgmarkNet is a step towards globalizing Indian agriculture and empowering rural masses. Another initiative is e-auction by the Tea Board of India. There are totally 6 e-auction centers located at Kolkata, Siliguri, Guwahati, Cochin, Coimbatore and Kunnur that provides access to manufacturers, warehouses, auctioneers, buyers and sellers on various functionalities associated with the software. It is an end-to-end process which involves from creation of invoice copy till the tea is delivered to the warehouse. The next ICT initiative is Routers Market Lite. Routers Market Lite, shortly called as RML, provides mobile-based agriculture information to the farming community. In across 13 states, RML has influenced the life of over 1 million subscribers from around 50,000 villages across 13 states in the country. Information in RML are available for more than 300 crops and about 1,300 markets. The next ICT project is Kisan Sanchar Limited, which is yet another ICT initiative by Indian Farmer Fertilizer Company, which helps farmers acquire information on weather, crop and animal husbandry related advices, rural health initiatives, fertilizer availability, etc. Information are provided through text and voice messages. 5 messages per day is provided to its member on the above said issues. In case if a farmer need to have a conversation with the official of Kisan Sanchar Limited, they are facilitated with a callback option along with a helpline number. The next ICT project is eSeva. The eSeva project, whose service include online payment of utility bills, issuing certificates, issuing license and permits, e-forms, etc., started in 1999. It was designed to provide government to citizen service. It delivers services online to consumers by connecting them to the respective government departments and providing online information at the point of service delivery. The project has become very popular among the citizens, especially for payment of utility bills. Success of this project is largely based on the payment of electricity bills. It exemplifies the potential for integration of delivery of union, state and local government services at one point. However, it also shows that the model based on payment of utility bills could not be rolled out in the rural hinterworld. The next ICT project is Digital India. The Digital India is the latest initiatives in which it is being coordinated and implemented by the Department of Electronics and IT. It is a program that aims at transforming the country through leveraging information and communication technology in every sphere of economy and society. It is centered around providing digital infrastructure as a utility to every citizen, governance and services on demand, and digital empowerment of citizens. This was launched keeping in view that despite the successful implementation of many e-governance projects across the country, e-governance as a whole has not been able to make up the desired impact and fulfill all its objectives. So with a brief note about the cases of successful ICT projects, I would like to summarize that developing countries like India should have to take effort to incorporate information and communication technology in all endeavors related to agriculture development. The organization and departments concerned with agricultural development need to realize the potential of ICT for speedy dissemination of information to farmers. Government at national and state level in India has to reorient agricultural policies so that a full-fledged strategy is formed to harness ICT potential for assisting overall agricultural development. As a part of this process, policymakers should utilize the analysis of the ICT projects in this study to become acquainted with how such projects function. Before ICT services are set up in a region, efforts are made to be developed among the farmers both a satisfactory level of faith in the intention of ICT staff and a firm commitment to the goal of the proposed project. Participatory and rapid rural appraisal are carried out to ascertain what information and farmers need. In the process, farmers' self-fulfilling faith in the information services provided should be enhanced. Most importantly, farmers should be instructed in how to get the best possible use of the services provided through information and communication technology. I hope you have enjoyed this class. Thank you.